Good morning, Raptor freaks. Alexiot's here. Monday morning. We got to preview this second game against Miami. It's a Monday Miami game. Yeah. And I'm jumping to the spot early once again at 9:23. Decided to go even earlier this time because I'm ready, baby. I'm so ready for this game today. I want to see us get some get back. But I have to tell y'all, we need to do it in a certain way today. We cannot have total receipts given back today. I'm going to say that and I'll tell y'all why in a little bit. We're going to have to be smart. I'd really like the Raptors today to get back through their game and the score and getting that W because this isn't the time to take like punches back or do anything back to them for what happened on Saturday night for a couple of reasons. Well, we got the news late last night. The NBA has suspended Caleb Martin for the game tonight. And I think this is the great news. This is exactly what y'all needed to do. Now, I know Monique has already said in the comments, I see at the bottom here, Martin should be suspended for more than one game, right? And I kind of agree with you to a degree, but also I'm kind of happy that it's swift justice and the game will be actually a game we play against them that he'll miss. Because, like I said yesterday, so often people get suspensions for incidents with teams, and it doesn't even, it goes with another team because it's the schedule and it goes to the next game. Well, this is a great opportunity. These are two games in a row against the same opponent. So make the person that shouldn't be available tonight not available. And they have done that. Now, there's good reasons for doing that also because, get back and different things like that. Caleb Martin plays tonight, in some ways they're saving him. They're actually kind of protecting him by giving him a suspension and having him not play tonight. There's another player who's suspended for them from what happened also. And this guy hasn't even played a game in the NBA. His rookie, Nikola Jovic, he did leave the bench last night. I guess he didn't know all the rules about it and stuff like that. This man has not played a minute in the NBA and he's already been suspended from a game. He will not be available tonight either. Not that they probably would have used him. But there you go. Welcome to the NBA, Nikola Jovic. And you're suspended in your third game of the season or fourth game of the season, but you weren't playing anyway. So it is what it is. Let me read you guys' comments and we'll get right into the preview for today. Let's go Freak Nation from Nameless. Bam, bam, bam. I'm with you on that. Good morning, Monique. Everybody, good morning. Good morning to Christian Koloko, who got a $15,000 fine for his part in the incident on Saturday night. I know that is cheesy as hell. I was saying, somebody needs to step up and pay this for this young man. That it is not right that he should have to pay this $15,000 fine. I don't think he should. If Larry Tannenbaum could take care of the bill for him, that would be great. I was joking yesterday on Facebook that maybe the referees should pay his $15,000 fine, that they're the ones who probably should pay it because, they're at fault. Or maybe get the Heat to pay it, something like that. I don't know. Maybe one of the veteran Raptors will pay it for him. Maybe the team will pay it for him. I don't know. I don't know how they're going to deal with this. But fining Christian Koloko $15,000 for what happened yesterday is ridiculous, silly. And we just have to laugh at it. We just have to laugh at it and hope that this money goes to a good place for a good cause. Because it's stupid. It really is dumb that he got further punishment. It's dumb that he got punishment at all. But let me read what they're describing what Christian did in the incident that would warrant a $15,000 fine. The NBA, this is Josh Lewenberg's Twitter, by the way. The NBA has suspended Caleb Martin one game for instigating an on-court altercation by taunting Christian Koloko and then tackling him into the spectators' stands. Okay, that sounds very accurate and exactly what happened. The second part says Koloko has been fined $15,000 for grabbing Martin during the altercation. So all he is guilty of is grabbing him. Guys grab guys on the court all the time in the middle of the game. They're grabbing shirts, they're grabbing jerseys, sometimes grabbing ass just to get on their skin. Maybe, a little bit of Dennis Rodman kind of defensive mentality. Ooh, just grab a little ass. And that'll, what, did you just grab my ass? And it kind of throws people off if you do that. I had a guy on my team back in the day, Chuck Daddy, who played on the team that I used to coach and run, that liked to grab other players' asses in the middle of the game. It really does get under their skin and make them kind of like, what? That guy just grabbed my ass. Yeah, but he would do that. He was crazy, Chuck Daddy. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. People are grabbing people all the time on an NBA court within the game. So wait, he grabbed him? And you're gonna fine him $15,000? That's messed up, NBA. I'm sorry. Somebody please step up and pay for this fine for Christian Koloko. He does not deserve it. That is definitely the truth. Freak Nation, salute. Logical Raptors fanatic. I watched your clip last night, Mike, the latest one, the second part of the two-way stuff. Fantastic stuff. Real deep dive on Justin Champagny. Lots of stuff on Justin Champagny on that clip. More about Chris Boucher and different stuff. Talking about O'Shea Brissett, stuff like that. Good job, Mike. I really enjoyed your clip. So y'all go check out Logical Raptors fanatic on YouTube. He has some great informative pieces that he's been producing and putting out lately. And he has the second part of his two-way contract series this weekend that he put out. And I watched it last night. Good stuff, Mike. I really enjoyed it. Let's see. G saying Chev did a post going off on the refs. We let people know that you do a ref report and has been very accurate and think it brought you some subs. I think you did, G, because I did get a good spike yesterday. I appreciate all of the new subscriptions in the last 24 hours. Thank you for joining us here at the Raptor Freak Nation, the place for positive Raptor fans that believe the Raptors can win Larry O'Brien's against all the odds and stacked against them in this American NBA league as the only Canadian team. This is what we do here. We talk about how we can make things come to fruition as far as Scotty Barnes getting Rookie of the Year, as far as Larry O'Brien's coming here. That's what I'm talking about, baby. So if you are that kind of fan for the Toronto Raptors, you have found the right YouTube channel, and thank you for subscribing. Yes, Sheb. You go, NBA Sheb. Yes, I love you, Sheb. You keep talking your truth, sir, and you keep putting it out there because we appreciate you being unfiltered and uncut in the way that you say things because you get the point across, sir, and we appreciate you doing that. Tom Duke saying get the word out nicely. Yes, IG, whatever you guys did, it did do a spike. We did get some new people coming in yesterday, and I really appreciate y'all. And join us live if you're watching us later or something like that. We are live every morning at 9:30, and we will read your comments. I will talk with you about anything y'all want to talk about. It doesn't even have to be about the Raptors. We talk about everything. Well, one thing I want to talk about real quick as the police go in a high-speed pursuit chase outside my house. Speaking of the city in Toronto, we are voting today, y'all. And I want everybody, if you're not voting or in where you are in your part of the world, but if you are voting today in your part of the world, here in Toronto, we are voting today. Please go vote. Just go vote. Listen, if you've enjoyed the last 8 years of what John Tory has done with Toronto and how it's become more and more unlivable over the last 8 years, you go ahead and vote for John Tory today. But if you think that it's been fucked up how Toronto has become more expensive, there's less affordable housing, and there's still even worse problems, social problems in downtown, don't vote for John Tory. Vote for somebody else. But go vote. That's what I'm saying. This world is getting more and more encroached on our rights and our voices. They are trying to make rules to take our voice away from us by making our vote not count. Well, to make our vote count, you need to go and exercise it. So today is voting day in Toronto, the 24th. So if you have the right to vote in the city of Toronto, please just go do it. Even if you didn't plan to do it, just do it. And you can just mark whatever box you want. I don't care. The whole thing is we all need to continue to vote because that is a right given to us. And we don't want that right ever taken away for any reason. So really, really exercise your right to vote today, Toronto. Get out there and do it, baby. And if you don't like what's happened in the last 8 years of Toronto, don't vote for the same idiot who's been running it. Vote for somebody else. I could tell you a great number of different candidates that are on the ballot better than John Tory. Because if you just want what we've been doing and it's just going to continue to get worse, go ahead and vote for John Tory. I do like him because he's a Raptors fan. But that's the only reason why I like him, because he supports the Raptors. But besides that, his political stuff and his job that he's done on the job, absolute garbage. Like the unpicked up garbage cans around this city that are just full of garbage spilling over because they don't have enough money to pay the garbage man to come pick them up. So, yeah, you want 8 years or more, go vote for Tory is what I'll say. But you want a different change, vote for a different candidate. That's what I'll say. Yeah. All right, I had to get my PSA out about voting today. Very important. because there is an election in Toronto today. So go vote, please, 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 please. All right. I love seeing the dinosaurs with Tom Duke getting the word out. Nicely done. I love it. Thank you, G. Thank you, guys. You know what? Whatever you guys do to put me on blast and share me in different ways, I appreciate it. I really do. And there has definitely been a spike yesterday. That's right. Let's see. Thank you, Tom, for the congratulations. I appreciate it. Logical. No doubts, Lex. The Chev thing is big. Congrats. People see the work you put in, bro. Appreciate that. I hope Chev, maybe I'm on his radar at this point. You know, Chev, I love you, brother. I'm from Tallahassee myself. I went to TCC myself, and you keep going, Chev. You're actually a big inspiration to me and part of the reason why this channel exists. So without you, I wouldn't be doing this. Honestly, I saw what you were doing. And I'm like, you know what? They need more old heads. They need more people standing for Raptors Nation, stuff like that. This is who I am. I'm a bird of a feather with NBA Chev. And I just want to, do the same thing he's doing in a way, but my own flavor and style. He's so good, and I appreciate him. And he's somebody I look up to and stuff like that. All right, let's keep going. Monique, thank you for the congratulations. Raptors super fan Monique. I appreciate that. Let's see. The post is called Fight Night. Okay, and it's about the Heat game the other night. Yeah, what a crazy game that was. The more I think about that game, the crazier it was and stuff like that. Well, the NBA was not happy with the ref crew the other night because I'm gonna tell you, our ref crew today is very interesting to change in a contrast from the ref crew we had on a Saturday night with nobody over 10 years experience as a ref. They were all like 9-year refs. And then Sayesh, yeah, tonight it's a little different. You know who we're getting tonight. You guys know who we're getting tonight. We're getting the sheriff. You know the sheriff showing up tonight to make sure there ain't no round two, Miami versus Toronto tonight. Yeah, we're getting the sheriff. And you know who I'm talking about. The most infamous ref, the ref that everybody hates. The ref that everybody hates. You know who I'm talking about. That's right. Tony Brothers is our ref tonight, y'all. I couldn't keep it in any longer. I had to tell y'all that Tony Brothers is invited to the party tonight. And this isn't good in some ways because we do have a losing record under him. Well, let's just do the ref report right now. Tony Brothers, under him, we have a record of 45.8% of the games we win. That's below our 48% career average as a franchise. And the Miami Heat have a 57.4 win percentage under Tony Brothers, 29-year vet referee. We know Tony Brothers very, very well. And the way you handle Tony Brothers is you listen to him. And you don't try and upstage him. You don't do that, Gary. You don't do that with Tony Brothers. You can't do anything to kind of make him look bad. Is basically what we got to watch out. But now he's going to be coming to this game tonight, really very much so to make sure there's no repeat of anything from the other night. So this is why I'm saying they can't get any get back tonight because Tony will call us on it and he'll be looking for it. He's going to be looking for it tonight. He's going to be looking for Precious doing pow, 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 pow. He's going to be looking for Pascal with a little, any of that kind of stuff. So let's wait, Raptors. Let's let them, let's show that we're good citizens. We're good sports. We'll roll with the punches and not give them any more punches tonight yet. We'll remember this. We'll have a long memory like an elephant, and we'll get them in another Miami game this season. How about that? But I really highly recommend we just play a straight up game and outplay the hell out of them with energy and hustle and hard work instead of doing any kind of extra stuff. Get back for Saturday. Tonight's not the night because Tony's in town. And we don't want to do that with Tony Brothers out there. Just trust me. That is the main reason why he's the crew chief tonight, is to make sure there's no kind of extra fight, extra round to this battle between the Heat and the Raptors and stuff like that. Our second ref is Trey Maddox, who's a big ref himself. He's a big dude. This is the thing. They got big dudes. This is no Howdy Doody show like the other day. These are big dudes that can clean things up if things go crazy in the game tonight. And Trey Maddox is in his 13th year as a ref. He's actually our friendly ref tonight. He's the one that we like, the middle ref. He's a 61.3% winning percentage for the Raptors, and he's a 45.8% winning percentage for the Heat. So pretty balanced. We win 60% of the time under him, and the Heat win just around 46% of the time. And that is great. We like Trey Maddox. Thank you, Trey Maddox, for showing up. And hopefully he will work with Tony and maybe sway him to help us. Now, the last ref is a problem ref. He's a ref that, once again, we're getting a very inexperienced third ref that we have a bad record under. We had Danica Mosier already this season. We've had Sayesh Mehta, both young refs that we have horrible records under. Well, our horrible ref we've had bad record under is John Butler tonight. Actually, the second worst ref for us statistically after Danica Mosier, who we had never won under. We've won one game under John Butler, and our record is 1-4. That we are 200 win percentage under John Butler. And listen to this: on the other side, the Miami Heat have not lost a game when John Butler is refereeing. He is they're perfect. I think it's 2-0. So it's not a whole lot of games. Like I said, this is a young ref. He hasn't refereed a whole lot. But Miami is 2-0 when he referees, and we are 1-4 when he referees. So John Butler is not a nice young ref to us and stuff like that. Let's give a little background on them. Let's see. Tony Brothers loves the show 24. He wants to visit Israel. His favorite meal is fried croakers. Does that mean he's eating frogs? Like, what the hell is that? Tony Brothers, you eat frogs, fried croakers. What's a croaker, y'all? I'm trying to figure that out. His favorite book is the Bible. Now, what you guys need to know about Tony Brothers, I'm going to give you a little deep dive on Tony Brothers, just real quick, the psychology of Tony Brothers. Tony Brothers is a very proud American. He is such a patriot, y'all. Like, if you watch at the beginning of the game, when they do the anthems, when they do the American anthem, that man is like military, like upright, and really taking the American anthem very seriously and with reverence, like very, very, like he seriously, I'm not lying. You watch him during the American anthem, and this dude is a patriot. This dude very much is very of an American kind of dude, and that's one of the things I'm trying to say is that like I would hate to think that there's any kind of bias against us because we're the only Canadian team, and I doubt there is with Tony. But just so y'all know, he's a very, very proud American and very much a very patriotic kind of dude, Tony Brothers. Just a little bit of the psychology about him, a little factoid tidbit about him. Now, Trey Maddox, he's from Las Vegas, and his favorite TV show is Power. His favorite movie is Training Day. He likes Michael Jackson. His favorite meal is steak and lobster. And his hidden talent is he knows how to play the piano. So maybe that's why he's so friendly to the Raptors, because him and Nick have a passion for playing the piano. It could be even that Trey Maddox is in the back and he comes by Nick's office and he hears him playing the piano before the game, because that's what Nick does. He has a piano in his office, and he likes to play it right before the game and right after the game. Nick will be in there playing to clear his mind, get himself. That's part of his pregame ritual. And also his post-game ritual. To come down from the game, he'll play a little bit on his piano just to kind of come down his energy from the game. Well, Trey Maddox is a piano player. Maybe you guys can tickle the ivories together tonight. I don't know. Whatever. We'll figure it out. Hopefully they can bond over that in some way. But yeah, that doesn't hurt that they have a shared passion for piano. So who knows? And then John Butler, let's look at his profile. He is from Biloxi, Mississippi. He lives in Phoenix, Arizona at this point. His favorite show is Suits. His favorite movie is Do the Right Thing. That's a great movie. His favorite musician is Jay-Z. No wonder. He's a Nets guy. Both of Tony and John Butler have the Bible as answers. Like, the Bible is Tony Brothers' favorite book, but the Bible is John Butler's favorite app. That's an interesting thing between the two generations, that Tony Brothers' favorite book is the Bible and John Butler's favorite app is the Bible. So, that's how times change, I guess, the younger ref and stuff like that. So there's your ref report. Not the best ref crew. Let's really hope that Trey Maddox can look out for us in certain ways, because he is the friendly one in the middle. Tony Brothers, listen, if we do the right things and we don't play like goonish back to get retribution tonight, that'll probably be better. We just need to play right, play hard, play better than Miami, and he'll reward us. That's the thing. Tony's not inherently against any team. He will help the team that is working the hardest and is doing the right way, the right things, the right way. And if the other team is chippy, like if Miami starts freaking out like they did in the middle of the game on Saturday, where they started, like they're up by 20 and they're complaining to the refs about everything. Yeah, if they start doing that, Tony Brothers will make them pay. So he's not going to put up with that kind of bullshit. It's like, especially when y'all are up 20 and you're going to be little prima donnas and start whining about calls, that's half the reason why we started coming back, because you pissed the referees off by being little crybabies in the middle of the game, Miami Heat. So do go ahead and act that way tonight. Please, please go ahead and be little whiny crybabies to the refs tonight. You see how Tony Brothers will deal with that. Trust me. So yeah, we want to be the good citizens. We want to be the ones that show up and say, "Hey, Tony, tell us how you want us to play this game so that we can win, and that we will like do the things that you tell us to as a ref, and listen to you, and we will try our best to play the game the right way, the way the referees want us to." Because in some ways, the Heat are already programmed to just foul all the time on their defense. So hopefully Tony can catch them on that stuff, and they can have foul trouble and all kinds of different things. We play it right. We play the hard way, and we will be rewarded by Tony Brothers tonight. So that's the way I look at it. It really is. He is a very cut, dry, down the middle kind of ref. It's just who's going to piss him off first. Then he'll go punish them. That is really Tony Brothers' MO. Now, our injuries tonight are pretty much what you guys think it is, but I'm going to tell you something about the Toronto Raptors injuries tonight that may shock you and that may make you think, wow, this is insane. This is incredible. Well, Otto Porter's already ruled out for tonight, so we will not see the Raptors debut of Otto Porter Jr. tonight. Not yet, guys. But Chris Boucher should be playing tonight. He should be back tonight. They've all said that he would be back at this point, and I really do think he will be back. The other person that's on the injury list right now, there's no Gary Trent, by the way. He is fine, and he's not been listed on any kind of injury report, so he should be available, is Scotty Barnes. Of course, Scotty Barnes had that, they're saying it's an ankle sprain, but it's a foot tweak, actually. It's a very much like a foot tweak kind of thing. They're saying it's a ankle, and they expect him to miss some time, but he's actually listed as day-to-day, y'all. And you know what that means? I think he's going to play tonight, guys. I think that some of y'all said yesterday at the end of the stream you'd like him to sit for like a week or take some time off and rest the foot. But you got to understand, this is the only other game he's going to play in Miami in front of his home crowd from where he grew up. So he's very motivated to play tonight if he feels good. So it could take Scotty waking up this morning and he's like, "I'm fine, everything's perfect," and he'll roll into practice and everybody will be like, "Well, you're moving real good, Scotty." It's like, yeah, it's okay, it's fine. And then boom, he's starting tonight. So I really kind of do expect Scotty to play tonight, and he won't miss a game. That he's that kind of like young stud athlete that he just heals so quick. And they were saying right after the game, he wasn't hobbling or moving around weird. He's walking in flip-flops and stuff like that. So I had this strange feeling that we may be very shocked to see Scotty Barnes not even miss a game and be in the starting lineup tonight. But if he isn't, that's good too, because we do want to rest him correctly and not mess him up. But he does have a lot of motivation to play tonight. Think about it, guys. This is there's only 2 games in Miami that the Raptors play, and we played one of them now, and the other one's tonight. So if he wants to play in front of grandma and auntie and cousins and everybody else, that he has to be there tonight. So he might do it just because of that. So, all right. So that's our side of the ball for injuries. Basically, I think we're only going to be missing Otto. Scotty's 50-50. Chris should be there. On the other side, it's the suspensions. So Caleb Martin is out tonight because he's been suspended for his role in the altercation on Saturday's game. Listen, some people say, is this enough? Is one game enough? I think it is enough. I think that it's great because we get the benefit of the suspension because the infraction was done towards us. And, I like it. I like it. They could have been more heavy-handed with him. But in some ways, this really is kind of delineating a line between, well, what he did compared to what Koloko did is way much worse. And that's why he's getting suspended. And he's losing a game of pay. So that actually comes out to like a $40,000 to $50,000 that he's getting fined for missing the game tonight. So he's missing the game and he's not getting paid for the game tonight. So that is a punishment. And Jovic is the same thing. He's suspended tonight, and he misses his payment also for the game, even though he's not playing. The other injuries for them are the same. Oladipo is still out, and Yurt 7. So that's the injury report for tonight. I really do think Scotty's going to play tonight for some strange reason. I really do think he's got the motivation. He's got that young body that bounces back. And I don't think that injury was that bad. It's kind of like a weird thing where you're walking and you step on your half side of your foot and you kind of buckle a little bit and it may hurt like for a little bit. Ooh, like Peter Griffin and Family Guy. You know what I'm talking about. Well, I think that's what happened the other night, and we just freaked out because we saw his face in such pain, and he had to go to the back and all this kind of stuff. But I think he was fine. I think the injury to me didn't look that bad, and all the X-rays and things that they've done since have all pointed to it being nothing but just a mild sprain. So he's gonna be fine. And in fact, I think he will play tonight. So we'll have to see. Let's see. Yeah, yeah. Mike was doing the countdown. You will never know on game day. And that's how the Raptors should treat the other team. You will never know when we're coming. Just like you don't know when the Raptor Freak's going to go right on, right in the morning of the games and stuff like that. All right, let me see. All right, I love all the posts and stuff. Dude, I have so many Chuck Daddy stories. You guys would laugh about the character, the legend of Chuck Daddy. He's amazing. One of the craziest people I've ever known in my life. One of my best friends, and I miss Chuck. Chuck's down in Tallahassee. He's crazy. He's so crazy. I'm gonna have to tell some Chuck Daddy stories at some point. Chuck, I love you, Chuck, man. He's down there, Charles. He's so good. Okay, let's see. We need payback tonight. Not tonight, Paul. Let's hold off on it. Tony's the new sheriff in town, and we do not want to be doing this with Tony Brothers as the ref because he'll take it out on us if we try and take it out on them tonight. So Nako's saying, here's hoping Koloko's fine goes to a good cause. Yeah, hopefully it goes to back to the community. It goes to help some needing people that really need it. Deserving people, stuff like that. Maybe it helps some children and stuff like that. That's what I like to think when people have to pay all these fines and technicals. You know, I would hate to think that there's some like ugly rich guy who's collecting all this money actually, and it's not going to charity. Some gross like person or something like that. Hopefully, it's just going to help all kinds of people in major ways. Is what I'm saying. Logical saying the payback needs to be playing hard and winning the game. In my opinion, that's exactly right, Mike. That is exactly right. That tonight the payback needs to be the right way. It needs to be us beating their ass. Look, we're going to show up tonight fresh. We're not going to be showing up half tired because we got like a half-ass sleep in the hotel at like 5 a.m. for like however long. I don't even know how they sleep when they do these overnight trips like they did on Friday night to Saturday morning. When do they sleep? Do they sleep on the plane a little bit? Do they get to? It's like you could get up in your middle of your sleep and you got to go, oh, get on the bus. Oh, get off the bus, get in the hotel. And they're like sleepwalking. What is this? The Raptors are like, oh, Kyrie, what is going on? Like, how do they manage their sleep on a back-to-back when they have to travel like that on Friday night? So, yeah, we saw the beginning of the game on Saturday night. They looked flat. They let Miami score 71 points in the first half. Well, we can't do that tonight. We're fresh. We are rested. We should be out there ready. Yesterday, we saw a couple things that the Raptors were doing. We saw Precious at a car dealership he's being a spokesperson for a Miami car dealership down there, taking pictures down there and saying, y'all come to this auto place. I'm a partner with them and buy a car from them. I don't even know what brand it is. I think it's Mercedes or BMW. It's one of the two of those. And then we saw Christian in his hotel room. In fact, he posted a post shortly after the Caleb Martin announcement that he was suspended last night. Then Christian showed us what he was doing. He's in his hotel room playing his PlayStation, playing FIFA. Yeah, he was playing soccer on the video game last night. That was what Christian was doing last night with his time to rest last night. So good to see the Raptors doing productive things with their day off in Miami yesterday. Going to a car dealership and promoting them and then playing some FIFA soccer at the hotel room back home. So, yeah, that's good stuff. So tonight, be ready and come out there and get back the right way, like Mike's saying. Out hustle, outplay them, out defense them, out rebound them, out shoot them at the free throw line. Do everything right tonight and make it so we win. You guys are the better team. We have the better personnel. We have more talent. We're younger. We can do so much more than Miami can do. They're scared of us. To a degree, they are an imposter as a team in the Eastern Conference right now. That they're kind of like that. Like I said, those three kids in a trench coat trying to get into an R-rated movie. That is a little bit of how much of an imposter they are. And we don't trust like that. So listen, we're going to come and beat y'all's ass tonight in Miami tonight. I really hope so. And you know what? They're going to have even less people in the arena tonight because it's a Monday night game. They couldn't get a full arena on Saturday night. You think this is going to be a shell of itself, although some people may want to see round two and hope that there's some bing, bing, bing. But I really hope they don't. I'm with Mike completely on this. They just need to play hard and just try and win the game. That's the best revenge. That's the best revenge. Fun guy saying the payback needs to be breaking into Caleb's house and spilling ice water over him in his sleep. Wow, fun guy. It sounds like you've done this to someone before. It's like, what? Why don't we just waterboard him while we're at it with the ice water? I mean, I don't know. That's crazy. That's breaking and entering. Man, I don't want to get on Fun Guy's bad side because I know Fun Guy told us about the stature of how big he is as a man. I would not want that size man breaking into my house and trying to throw ice water in my face. Wow, that it's very specific too. What you want to do to Caleb? It's crazy. I guess it's kind of cool. It's like, all right, let's go in. Psh, wake up. Psh. But yeah, it's funny. Okay, Nako's saying Koloko only grabbed him because he was falling too. I know. It's true. It's totally true. Like, look, you can look at that in any kind of way. It's so wrong that they threw him out in the first place, and now he's getting fined also. Yeah, NBA, you're kind of fucked up for how you dealt with Koloko in this. Honestly, there's a cool clip from earlier in the game of why Caleb Martin hates Koloko so much. There's a couple of clips where he's just this close to getting the ball, and Koloko's little bit of reach, his selfie stick arms go so much further than him. He gets the ball first, and he was just outplaying him all over the place on the court before that. And he was just so frustrated that finally he's like, he got position on him on that rebound, and Koloko still got the ball over him because he's so much taller and longer. And then he threw him. And then that was really what happened. Was he was frustrated because the rookie was out playing him. He was out hustling him. He was out beating him to 50-50 balls. He was making everything for him difficult, whether it's irritating his shot, all kinds of stuff. I mean, he just got frustrated with him. And Caleb came out and he said, "Oh, I need to work on some things." You damn right you do. You have an anger problem, young man. And yeah, you go ahead and keep doing stuff like that. You'll shoot your team in the foot over and over again. You keep acting like that, stuff like that. Chuck Daddy is a legend. I'm gonna tell you that right now. My friend Chuck is somebody. He's crazy. There was one game we were playing in the middle school. We used to play City League, and we play all our games in like different gyms around the league, around the city in Tallahassee. And Chuck was like my power forward. He was very much like a Dennis Rodman kind of character. The way he acted, grabbing people's asses and doing all kinds of crazy stuff in the court. And he got thrown out of a game right at the end of the game, and we were down by 2, and we had the ball, and we had like 10 seconds to go on the clock. But Chuck was such an asshole, he would not leave the court. He was yelling at the ref, and the ref was yelling at him, and I'm the coach, and I'm trying to get Chuck to leave because it's like, look, Chuck, leave. Come on, we got to win this game. You know, we have time to win. And he stood there, and he would not budge. He's just like the ref and him going at it, talking to each other, yelling at each other, and he wouldn't leave. And he took so long, and he wouldn't leave. They called the game with 10 seconds to go with us down 2, and we lost. Yeah, isn't that crazy? I was so mad at Chuck that night, but I was kind of like, man, that's kind of gangster that he did that. He's kind of like, no, I'm taking a stand and not leaving because I don't think what you called was right. Is basically why I was doing it. But we lost the game because of that. It's so crazy that he did that. In some ways I love him for it, even though at that moment I hated him for it. Oh my gosh, I'm so mad at him at that time. He's like, Chuck, that's a game, we lost. But in hindsight, I love it. I have many Chuck Daddy stories, and not all of them are basketball related. We did some crazy shit when we were teenagers. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Chuck, respect and love to Charles Spites, Tallahassee, Florida, my good friend. Yes. Let's go. Logical saying, respect, Lex. It was a bit long, but I need a new milestone feature when the season's starting and my video game getting better. It's about the level up. 506 level. Yeah, well, keep going. I must try. Nameless saying, Chuck Daddy, bro, that is the ultimate handle. The legend of Chuck Daddy continues. Well, it's funny because Chuck had a son in the recent years. He didn't have any kids until recently. So I said to Chuck, you can no longer be the immature Chuck Daddy. You are now Charles' father. Yes, you have to be Charles' father now. And his son is Charles the Third. So he's like Charles' father and Charles the Third. So he's Chuck Trey. Everybody down south, when they're the third, they're always named Trey. And I have a good best friend named Trey, who's actually not named Trey, but he's the third of the name in his family. So they call him Trey. So his son's Trey because he's Charles the Third, because Chuck Daddy's actually Junior. So yeah, I'm gonna tell more Chuck stories. It'll be fun, and maybe I'll tell him to start watching me, and maybe he'll come in here and he'll start commenting with us. And some of the stuff he may say may shock you. I'm not gonna lie. He very much is a Dennis Rodman kind of personality too. Nako Santori also is terrible at handling the homeless. Yes, very bad. Different things and stuff like that. Seriously, if you like how Toronto's been the last 8 years and the direction we're going, go ahead and vote for John Tory again. If you're real happy with how he handled the pandemic and everything that's happened in Toronto over the last 8 years. You're happy with how he's promised us new transit around the city and has failed to deliver over 8 years, not just one term, but 2 terms. You think he's going to do it all of a sudden magically in the third term? No, he's not. So please, anybody, it's like Monty, whatever, and Brewster's Millions, Monty Brewster, Richard Pryor, none of the above, or just not John Tory. Pick anybody other than him. I don't care. Chloe Brown is a fantastic candidate. Gil Penalosa is a fantastic candidate. Don't vote for that ex-cop, though. Don't vote for the ex-cop because he wants to militarize the police and make us a police state and come down hard on crime and put more funding in the police and stuff like that. So don't vote for him, but vote for Penalosa. He has an idea for a cityless, carless city where it's all bike lanes, electric cars, and public transit. They would close all the roads downtown and give the city back to the city and stuff like that. Maybe you don't like that. Well, if you like somebody who has progressive, forward, public policy experience, Chloe Brown is your lady. So those are the two candidates I endorse, Penalosa and Brown, if you are voting today and you care about what I think and stuff like that. But just don't vote for Tory. If you don't like what's happened here, don't vote for him, seriously, because you'll get more of what you already got if you vote for Tory again. Monique saying we got to hit first tonight. Seriously, no slump. I want to see us come out crisp and clean and killing it and stuff like that. It is funny. Like if Scotty doesn't play tonight, we should start Koloko as kind of a big thumb in their big fu to them. Yeah, start Koloko tonight if Scotty is not available. That's what I think you should do, Nick. Like put him in there and right from the start and get him out there agitating them, just like he agitated Caleb Martin on Saturday night. Because I would love that. That would be kind of like a big fu if we did start Koloko. Somebody said that in the chat this weekend, and I thought it was a brilliant idea. You know, because he's not suspended tonight, but Caleb is, and that could kind of also show, yeah, you guys were fucking wrong for what you did that night, Caleb Martin. Let's see. Cool Cat's here. Good morning, Raptor Free crew. Good of you to encourage everyone to vote, exercise that right. It's, you know, we all have rights as an individual. We want to continue to have rights. We need to exercise them. We cannot just stand pat and not vote because someday that voting right may be taken away from us because we were apathetic. So get out there and make your voice heard. Even if you don't know what you're doing, just go down there and fill in some bubbles. I don't care. I just want you to get in the habit of doing it. And every time that it is supposed to happen, you don't have to take it seriously. You could Christmas tree it. I don't care. Just do it. Because if you don't vote, that's really bad. It's really, really bad when people that can vote don't vote because the people that don't, you're not getting represented. At least you need to get in there and you can say, oh, it doesn't matter. It does matter. Every little bit matters. Trust me. Sometimes I tell myself this stream doesn't matter, but I don't even realize how much the stream can matter in some ways. Because I may say something on my stream and it may go in somebody's head. And then all of a sudden, boom, there's something amazing happens for them in their life and stuff like that. Because maybe they thought something different or something. I have no idea. So you don't know what kind of impact you making your vote, going out and doing it can happen. It could actually be the vote that matters in the election and what decides it. So, you know, never poo-poo your power as the individual and all of us as individuals in the aggregate together, how powerful that is. Because they don't want us to stand up and take our power because they want us to be apathetic, stay home, and just not give a shit. That's what they want. So you want to go ahead and go with them and do what they want you to do? No, be defiant. Go vote. That is the best way to do it. Yeah, Lolita's saying the NBA did Koloko wrong. Fined. Did he even get his first paycheck yet? I like what he says about Martin. He doesn't know him. Yeah, he's like, I don't know this guy. He's like above him. He's like, I don't even know what this fly that I'm swatting away from me, who this guy is. I don't know what his problem is. It's like, I know this kind of feeling. It's like, why does this dude hate me so much? Well, I'm going to tell you why it is, Christian. It's jealousy. It's envy. It's, wow, I wish my arms were as long as this guy's arms and I could move around the court as quickly as him. It's that kind of stuff. It's like the kind of thing where you're playing against somebody in a game and they're so good at it and you think you're good at it But you just met somebody who's way better at it and kick your ass. You get mad because you're like, I thought I was really good at this. It's that kind of stuff. That's what's going on with Caleb. Stuff like that. Kareem's here, and his name is back to normal. Kareem Thomas. I wonder if Masai Bobby covered Koloko's 15,000 fine, or do we need to start a GoFundMe account? Well, I don't think we should pay the fine. Really, we shouldn't do it, not our fans. But maybe there is a fan that's very wealthy that will step up and do it. Maybe not Batia will come down there and pay Christian Coloco's $15,000 fine. I don't know. That very much could be true. I don't know. I would hope that the team will just do it because they understand that he did not deserve this and he shouldn't be punished for this. So, and he's doing it in the name of the team and helping the team. So maybe just team officials and the team bankroll will come in and do it. Tannenbaum, you just do it. MLSE, pay that fine for him. He doesn't deserve to have to pay for it with his rookie scale contract. That's a chunk of his contract. He's not making the big money yet, and he's a second round pick too. So he's on that second round rookie scale and stuff like that. So yeah, Nameless is saying, please don't vote Tory from Brampton. Yeah, we don't want him, and that's what I'm encouraging. Nameless for sure. Logical is saying Koloko is fine. He has a legit rookie contract, more years and more money than Banton. Okay. Yeah, he does have a better contract and stuff like that. And that's good. That's part of the reason why we waited to sign him, because we wanted to see how the Kevin Durant sweepstakes went to make sure we could give Koloko as much money as we wanted to at that time. We couldn't figure it out until we let that time pass. And that's why he was signed so late. But yeah, I don't want him to pay it though. It's just a principle thing, Mike. Like he shouldn't have to pay that on principle, is what I'm saying. Canadian said, I vote that Martin can't handle anyone on our team and Koloko's being fine is bullshit. Yeah, Martin is really a scrub. Like he's one of these kind of guys that's kind of like he really is in the league because of his hard work and gutsy stuff. He's not super talented. And yeah, maybe he part of his skill set is being a goon and doing dirty work and stuff like that around his team. And I don't have a lot of respect for that. Mason Culligan's here. Good to see you, Mason. Hey, Lex, rough start to the season. This is a must win. Do it for Koloko and also because we are better than the Heat. Also must tonight is to get out to good fast start. No mercy on these bums. I agree with Mason on this. This is in some ways a must win just because we don't want to be 1-3. We don't want to be 0-2 to Miami Heat already. They're not a team that we should be over and 2 down to because they are not that good. In fact, I don't think they're as good as they were last year. They really look like a different kind of team this year. And they should be, they're not necessarily a real playoff team. They look like they may be a play-in team this year. So Miami, we need to beat tonight. We just need to do it the right way. No funny stuff. Just execute, play with good energy, do what we do. We will win. We should have won the last game. I don't know why we can't dominate the paint against that little Miami Heat team. We should be dominating the paint. We should be getting all the rebounds. We should be getting the most points in the paint. We should do all that kind of stuff. So win the shooting battles, limit their 3-pointers, obviously, and bully ball them, really bully them down low, because we really can bully people like Max Strus and Tyler Hero and Gabe Vincent. These are guys that we can back down and just go right over top of them. They're not big or physical enough compared to our 6'9" vision. So we need to bully them. We need to play right. We need to just out-hustle, outwork them. And we will win tonight no matter what, because they're not as good as us. We have way better talent. We have way more better things going with our team than they do. They're kind of an imposter team right now. In fact, I'm shocked about who the imposter teams are in the Eastern Conference right now. Philadelphia is one of them. And so is Brooklyn. And so is Miami. So, yeah, we don't want to give them more good feelings by letting them get another one. We'd like to see them be 1-3 and us be 2-2 because they're going for 2-2 and we're going for 2-2. And one of us is going to be 1-3 at the end of the night. Chris comes here. Good to see the great Chris come. What up, Raptors freak? 2 tough losses against good teams. Could easily be 3-0. I'm not concerned at all. How are you feeling about tonight? I want us to win. That's how I'm feeling about tonight. And I really do hope we do. Like I said, we play by the rules and we listen to Tony Brothers. He will help us and he will look out for us. Let's let Miami piss him off first. And they probably will. It's too bad Caleb Martin's not playing. Maybe he would have already taken it out on him, but I'm glad he isn't. This is right. The punishment is being served against the team where the thing that he did was against us. So it's good that it's happening tonight. Because I would have hated if they made this decision tomorrow and they're like, oh, for his incident on Saturday. We already played them. We played them last night. Why did you come out with this on Tuesday? Well, I'm glad they did it last night. So good job, Joe Dumars and Adam Silver in the NBA. And everybody asking for their emails and stuff like that yesterday in the comments. Good job, y'all. And it may be that you guys maybe lit a fire on their asses with a lot of people sending them stuff about Caleb Martin, what he did on Saturday night. That kind of pressure can work. You write your congressperson, you do stuff like that. It sometimes gets things to happen. So yeah, we can continue to pressure A Silver at NBA.com. That's his email, or other places where the NBA takes feedback. Yeah, maybe they'll listen to us this year. Maybe, who knows? Maybe we'll see different changes with the refereeing around the Toronto Raptors because we're on their ass about it. I'm okay with that. That sounds like a good idea. Fun guy saying, "Wow, Lex, really love you doing the ref info for us." Yeah, no problem. I mean, it comes out right at 9 a.m. And so I'm getting it fresh. Like it just came out like 10 minutes before I went on the air. And I'm really making that quick assessment of what's going on with them and stuff like that. So Tony Brothers, yeah, we're getting Tony tonight. Yeah. Cool Cat saying, "Oh my goodness, I'm having anxieties over these refs now." Please don't, Cool Cat. This is not the purpose of my ref report, is to make you scared or worried about the game. It's really for information so that you can come into the game with the lens kind of understanding how the ref crew is for the night as far as their experience. So we've got a very experienced 30-year ref, Tony Brothers. We got a middle ref, Trey Maddox. And then we got a very inexperienced ref as a third ref, John Butler. So, yeah. Nameless saying the most important thing is the win. That's the true get back, is the win. That's the proper kind of way to get back. That's the way to do it. Beat their ass. And I'm all about that. Cowboys saying this team is awesome. I'm not worried about a thing. I'm with you, Bradley. I'm with you. Mike saying bounce back game. Fred VanVleet will look to score more, possibly to keep us attached to 500 while we work on new stuff and developing to get our guys better in the second half, similar to last year, but more leeway. Yeah, I hope we do. I mean, we got to show that we've made adjustments. Maybe we watched a lot of tape yesterday and we figured out some of the things we should have been doing more of that we did really well at the beginning of the game, like the bully ball and stuff like that. Like if Scotty is fresh and ready to play tonight, he can, then I'd like to resume what we tried to start doing at the beginning of the game in the last game, where he was absolutely killing them right around the basket. Hopefully we can just resume that and Scotty's healthy tonight. If not him, somebody else. I mean, we just need to do the stuff that we had good success with from Saturday night and look at all the mistakes and the mess ups that we had and clean those up. Because the whole game is a formula, and you want each factor in that formula to add up to a W. And it may be a free throw percentage, how many you miss and how many you make. It's a very important part of that equation, is that part. So maybe you focus on that one factor in the equation about the free throw shooting. Or you concentrate on the turnovers and protecting the ball. You look at the different little parts of the game that add up to making a win and focus and get those parts polished up and working more better than improving on them from the last game, whether it's free throw shooting, taking care of the ball, defensive rotations, and really covering them up real tight. Nothing like the first half against Miami on Saturday, more like the second half of the game on Saturday, that kind of stuff. Yeah, let's see. Name was saying, "Cool Cat, good morning. You're a real one." Bam, bam, bam. Kareem Thomas is saying, "Seeing that Scotty is out, can we get before the All-Star break Freddie just for one game? Kind of want that old thing back." You want old Freddie back because you feel like he's not scoring enough. Well, this is very much on purpose that he's taking a seat back. They want to give OG, Gary, Scotty, Precious, different people more offensive looks, and Fred's dialed this role back. I'm not opposed to this. What's happening with Fred? We need to realize that it's nothing that he's done in the past has gone away. It's just we're not fully utilizing it right now to explore more with the other guys. It could very well be that Fred steps up tonight and he has that all-star level kind of game from last year where he is one of the main guys scoring for us and shooting a lot. But he really is taking a back seat to try and help people like OG get off the ground with their offensive game more and stuff like that. I applaud him for that. Most people don't have the ego to be able to do that in some ways. So I really appreciate Fred doing that. But I agree with you, Kareem. We'd like to see Freddie come back and be that really top level, important, like maybe one or two option on our team sometimes, just to show in good faith that he can still do that. and also because we will need him to be in that kind of role near the end of the year and in the playoffs. So he will have to tune that up. But this may be also part of the way they're saving him over the season. Is not making he may get a lot of minutes, but maybe the minutes aren't as grueling because he's not being worked so hard on offense. That maybe that's part of the way we save him over the course of the year for not getting fatigue by not overusing him in the offensive scheme, letting him be a playmaker and letting the other guys do the work in some ways, stuff like that. But I understand what you're saying, Kareem. But don't worry, Freddie's still got all that. He could bust out and have like a 30-point game and be really a ball hog again at any moment. If he feels like he needs to do it, or Nick tells him that it's time for Freddie to take over, he'll do it. So Tom Duke is saying Atlantic croaker is a species of marine ray-finned fish. Croaker is lean and full flavored and almost sweet taste. All right, so we just learned something about Tony Brothers' favorite dish. It's a fish. It's not a frog. Like that would have been weird if Tony Brothers was eating frogs. Like that's his favorite meal and stuff like that. I'm not saying that frog's not a good thing to eat. Frog legs can be very much a delicacy, but it would be weird. It'd be very weird if that's what his favorite meal is, a frog, fried croaker. But it's a fish. Okay. So he has a very specific fish he likes. It's not like he says, I like fish. He has a very specific one. And how many restaurants do you walk into and you see on the menu, fried croaker? I don't know many restaurants that are serving fried croaker. So I don't know. Maybe he's making it at home. Maybe he has a croaker fish pond near his house and he goes and catches croakers and cooks them up at home or something. I don't know. I'm trying to imagine Tony Brothers' private life right now. Does he have a croaker fish pond near his house? I don't know where I'm fucking buying croaker in Tallahassee or Toronto or Tallahassee. Where do I go to the fish market and say, hey, give me some croaker? What the fuck are you saying croaker, man? We don't have no croaker. Is that a frog? No, it's a fish. I heard about it. Tony Brothers' favorite fish. Well, we don't have no croaker here. Like, who the fuck has croaker? I'll bet you can get some croaker in Seattle at the fish market. Yeah, I bet maybe that's where he's like, Tony Brothers wants Seattle Supersonics to come back because it's the only place where he can get some croaker to eat. I don't know. I've never heard of that fish. And I grew up in Florida. They have all the fish on the menu down there. Everything you could think of is down there. I've never seen croaker on a menu in a restaurant. You ask yourself, have you ever seen croaker on a menu? This is crazy. I don't know. Anyway, thanks for the info, though, Tom Duke. That's a little bit of extra. Like, Tom, you're a researcher now, figuring out stuff for us. I love that. Thank you for looking that up. Monique's saying people who hit the panic button this early are dumb, not worried about nothing. Yes, Monique, please speak the gospel of the Raptor Freak cult. Y'all are panicking way too early. It's like Leo Routon said in Raptors Today or the nightcap the other night. He's like, everybody who's flipping out, realize there's like 70 something games left in the season. It's like we played 3 games. We have 79 games left. And y'all are already chicken littling. Come on, y'all. Jeez, get it together. You're like the kind of people that jump when you just see like a shadow in the corner. Oh, the season's, it's like, come on, y'all, get it together. Everything's fine. Let them work it out. This is one of the hardest parts of our season, the schedule right now, right away at the beginning of the season. Trust me, there's some real cream puff sections that we're going to be going through, and everything's going to be way more spread out and easier to come to, less back-to-backs, less weird travel days like that one Friday night. So yeah, it's gonna be fine. And I listen to Voice of Reason, Monique Lawrence, and tell them to stop freaking out, y'all. The Raptors are okay. Tom Duke's saying, haha, my pleasure. I was curious and I like to share. Yeah, Tom, if you get that gumption or that, I should go look what a croaker is all of a sudden. Yeah, we don't mind you doing a little extra research and bring us factoids, especially since I don't want to be on here while I'm talking to y'all trying to look it up. Oh, what's a croaker? Type. That's not a good show. So I appreciate you, Tom, doing the legwork on the outside and bringing it back to us. Nameless saying, that's my favorite movie too. Training Day. Forrest Gump is all right too. Training Day is a fantastic movie. Denzel Washington, Ethan Hawke. Yeah, that's a great movie. That may be Denzel's greatest movie ever. Like, he has such an edge to him in that movie. Like, you don't fuck with that dude, man. He's crazy. He's just crazy. And if there's cops out there like him, that really does kind of inform us to that mentality of a police officer getting like that. and stuff like that. But what a great movie. Honestly, great movie. So good choice of movies by that's Trey Maddox. Yeah, the ref we like. The middle ref is the one that's nice to us tonight. Jurassic Park. Yeah. Name is saying dope movie too. Yeah. All right. I love it. Terminator 2. You guys are just naming movies now. It's funny. I'm just naming movies here. All right. Okay. All right. I'll be back. Cowboy saying Loco Koloko is a stand-up guy. I'm so glad we got him. I'd rather have him than Mobley. Real talk. You'd rather have him over Evan Mobley. Wow. Listen, there are some things that Koloko can do that Evan can't in some ways. So I'm with you. I'm really glad we got Koloko. I think that it's really nice to have this set of two guys from the same town on the same team. It's just so preordained and just feels right that Christian gets to play with Pascal. It just feels so right. Cool Cat saying, no, Scotty, he will want to play in front of his families, but I don't want him to be forced. Philly game is next. Yeah. Yeah, we got to see how this works out. If he doesn't play, we'll understand that, yeah, we're being on the side of precautionary. But if he plays, that really is because he wants to play in front of his family and stuff like that. Know that that's probably the reason why. Scott B's here, woke up first in fantasy, and we get to kick Miami's ass tonight. What a beautiful day. Yeah, Scott B's number one in our fantasy league right now. You see how it jumps around night after night and stuff like that. I hope you guys are figuring out the fantasy more and more and understanding how to play it and get different players and switch around, stuff like that. It's a lot of fun. If you haven't done it much with it yet, it's still not too late. It's a very long season. Just like we're not scared that the Raptors are in trouble, this is a very long season. So you have a chance, even if you're already at the bottom in the fantasy league. So don't give up. Just get in there and start playing. Cool Cat saying, tonight I want us to come out with energy and play fast. Regarding Caleb Martin, I want him to be booed badly in our arena that he is rattled. Well, I'm going to tell you something that happened this weekend after the game on Miami on Saturday night. Caleb Martin no longer has a Twitter. Let's just put it that way. Yeah, we came after him hard. Raptors Twitter is amazing force. They can really make things happen. And I love them. I love them. Like, they may be a little toxic and misguided and a little crazy at times, but they did their forces for good this weekend. And they went after Caleb on Twitter and they chased him right on off Twitter. First, he had it locked down and closed. Well, they got into that and he just deleted the whole account. So there you go. Bravo, Raptors Twitter. Good job. You chased the man off of Twitter. And I love it. I love it. That is kind of a punishment in a way. They're like, yeah, you got ostracized and bombarded by our crazy ass Raptors Twitter fan base. And they sent you right on off the platform. Yeah, he's not on Twitter anymore. That is solely because of Raptors fans. So you go, Raptors Twitter. That was awesome. Let's see. Keep going. Ken A's here. Good to see Ken A. Good morning, Raptor Freak Ken A. Somebody should pay Koloko's fine for him. Yes, agreed. M. Jones is saying Caleb needs to agree to meet Koloko outside the game today. Whoa, M. Jones is like, they need to meet outside. Well. We got to understand that Christian is a very big man. He has very long arms, but he's not a very mean guy. He's very much a nice kid. Like I said, he's an A+ student. He's a nerd in a lot of ways. He has these really long limbs that are pissing people off because they may get an errant elbow. He doesn't even mean to because he's just so long. He may hit somebody in the elbow, in the face, or something like that. He's just really all over the place. And in some ways, I think that's why he got the fine and got ejected, just because his long ass arms look so crazy when he's moving them around and stuff like that. He's not doing anything to hurt anybody. You didn't see any force. It looked more like he was trying to hug Caleb than anything. And yeah, I guess because his arms are so cartoonishly long that maybe they looked and they said, oh, he did something. He grabbed him. He grabbed him. Maybe he's falling backwards. He's like trying to steady himself or something. I don't know. It could be very much a reactionary grab. So we do not agree with the punishments for Koloko at all. He didn't do anything wrong. The man was like, had no hate in his heart. He still doesn't. He's just like, I don't know what the fuck happened. And Caleb is just steaming. He's just steaming. So obviously the person that's like that lost their temper is the person that is at fault. So, I mean, it's easy to see. And I don't understand how the refs were so stupid to call it the way they did. Maybe they were like, well, we need to keep a balance. We can't just hurt and punish the Heat, even though they're the ones that are at fault. We got to hurt the Raptors too. So let's eject Koloko also. Stupid shit like that. Who knows what they were thinking when the thinking of that. He grabbed him. Like I said, people be grabbing people's asses like Chuck Daddy. It's just how it is. Randolph Phillips is here. Good morning, Raptor Freak Randolph Phillips. Blessings on this game day, Raptor Freaks cult. Thank you, Randolph Phillips, for coming in and blessing us as you do usually. We really appreciate you. Monique is saying, apparently training camp starts today for the 905. Okay, good to know about the 905 starting their stuff up today. That is awesome. Nameless is saying, I love Africans, man. They love soccer so much there. Italy didn't make the World Cup for the 2 times their first time in history. I'll be rooting for Ghana. Awesome. Yeah, they really love soccer over there and stuff like that. And like I said, Mike, if you do this piece on soccer players playing in the NBA and whether they have an advantage because of footwork, another good example of this is Steve Nash. Steve Nash, you can ask Tom Duke, who grew up and went to high school with Steve Nash in Victoria, how good a soccer player Steve Nash was. And it really helped his career as a point guard, Hall of Famer, MVP in the NBA. His footwork as a point guard was informed from his soccer play. In fact, in some ways, some people said that Steve Nash was a better soccer player than he was a basketball player in some ways. He's a very good soccer player, Steve Nash. So he's a good person to look at for that connection between being a soccer player and also a basketball player, and how that adds to what your basketball powers, maybe with your footwork. It's like Pascal and Christian being more soccer players as kids than basketball players. It really may be part of the reason why they have such an innate way of learning footwork better because of the soccer stuff and stuff like that. Johnny Alvarez, good to see a new name every morning, 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. You'll see me tomorrow reacting to the game tonight, and hopefully it'll be a big W for the Toronto Raptors. Caleb not playing because he knows he's getting rocked. Yeah, they're protecting him. He better be glad he got suspended tonight. Oh yeah, Caleb, you better be thanking Adam. So, thank you for not making me play tonight, telling me I can. I'm telling you, it saved him. That little bitch. He tried to injure Scotty before. He's a pure hater. I know. Like, this thing that happened on Saturday really does paint a new picture about what happened with Scotty last year with that shove. It's very clearly there. He shoves him in the back as he's going out of bounds to give him more force to go into that lady with the beer. And like, we watched it with Scotty this summer on his Twitch. We watched it and talked to him about it. And he said, he wasn't being dirty. He wasn't mad at him or anything. I don't know. Scotty just turns the other cheek, or maybe he's just being naive to the intentions of other people around him, whether it's LeBron James throwing the ball at his midsection or it's Caleb pushing him out of bounds with force. He wanted to think the better of him, Scotty. He's like, no, he didn't do that. That's not a dirty play. Motherfucker, it is dirty, Scotty. We saw what he did to Christian this weekend. That was dirty as hell what he did to you last year. It's just that he got away with it on the sly. He probably should have gotten in trouble for that, for almost injuring Scotty in that way. Stuff like that. Yeah, I'm with you, Johnny. Great first comment. I love that you're calling out Caleb Martin as a pure hater. And that is definitely the truth. He is a hater, hating on the talent that's better than him, that's coming up underneath him. Scotty Barnes and Christian Koloko. He knows he will never, ever be on the level that these guys are going to get to. Scott B saying NBA won't let that happen. They suspended him for a game to cool things down. $15,000 for Koloko is the most ridiculous fine I've ever seen. Coco should have filled him in. Yeah. Ooh, David's here. Good to see David. Congrats on cracking the 500 mark, Lex. Keep up the good work. Thank you, David. We'll be at 600 before we know it. We get the climb to 1,000. We're halfway there now. I had a goal to get to 500 around the beginning of the season, and we got there. Now I want to get to 1,000 by around the beginning of next season. So we get 500 more subscribers over the next year. I'll be so happy. And I really appreciate all the new subscribers and stuff like that. You found the right channel if you're a big-time Raptors fan and you really love the team and you're sick of all the toxic, negative garbage. All the people in our fan nation that talk us down, say trade OG, all the people that say Gary Trent Jr. is garbage, we hate him. Fuck that shit. That's our team. We stand behind our guys, with our guys, and we support them when they go through their ups and downs as a team and as individuals. And I'm not all about any of that kind of stuff in this space. And people come in here with negative takes on the Raptors and stuff like that. You go ahead and you will see how I react to them, stuff like that. So if you love the Raptors and you want them to win more Larry O'Briens, you're watching the right YouTube channel right now. Nameless is saying grabbing people's asses. He got thrown out of the game. Yeah, he didn't. I don't think he got thrown out for that incident, Chuck Daddy, that day was not for grabbing someone's ass. He got thrown out for, I think it was a hard foul, and then he got a technical. And then the ref said, "You're out of the game." And he refused to leave. So he wasn't grabbing asses at that point. Like he would literally, he's like fighting for position to get a rebound. And he's like a power forward. He was like, he's like 6'6, 6'5, my friend Chuck. And he was real strong, real strong. He played in high school. So he's a really good basketball player. I had all these high school players. I had high school level basketball players on my team, not college or anything, but like some of the best high school players in Tallahassee were on my team from different high schools. It was like an all-star high school team. And Chuck was our power forward, and he would like get position and he'd be like fighting for a position. He'd just reach with his hand and he'd just like grab a full cheek. And the guy would, and he'd jump off of him and then he grabbed the rebound. He did it. He was amazing when he do that. He was crazy. And then our center, John Dodrell, he was this hippie guy from the alternative high school. He was like 6'8", something like that. He was really skinny, but he wouldn't shower for like 2 days before games, and he would eat raw onions before the game. Like we had weird guys on our team that had all kinds of ideas about how to get an advantage in the game. And John's work, nobody wanted to be anywhere near him. He smelled like shit. Like he had that onion breath, and he had BO out of him all kinds of ways. People stayed away from him, and it actually worked really well. He had some good offense going because nobody would get up close to him. This is stories from my coaching career, stuff like that. All right, Canadian Cowboys saying, I rewatched the game, and Martin was getting smoked by our whole team before he tackled Koloko. Good luck, Martin, on your first game back in Toronto. You're going to hear it from fans and Raptor freaks for sure. Yeah, we'll let him know. He's going to get that Goran treatment. He will get that Goran treatment when he comes to Scotty Bank Arena. Nameless saying, I'm dying, bro. Guy wouldn't leave the game at the YMCA. It wasn't even the YMCA. It was like a middle school, which is like a secondary school. Like it was like ninth through not ninth, like 7th, 8th grade. Like it's a school where I went to middle school in Tallahassee, Cobb Elizabeth Middle School. And we're in the gym. And it's just like off time in the evening when school's out. They have the city league games, the men's league games. And we have refs, real refs. They were getting paid and being there and stuff. Yeah, he wouldn't leave. He just wouldn't leave. And I was like, Chuck, just leave, please, Chuck. Just leave, Chuck. And Chuck's like, motherfucker, I'm not leaving. He's like, he talked like that too. He's like, I'm not fucking leaving. He's like, oh my gosh, Chuck, just leave, please, just leave. And the ref's like, all right, Tech, you're out. You get out of this gym right now. He's like, I'm not leaving. It's like, oh my gosh, what a scene. Click saying tonight is a must win. I agree with this. This is for pride, y'all. This is for pride. Precious said, we're not going to let them punk us. Well, the way we don't let them punk us is we don't let them beat us 2 games in a row. Like I don't want that to happen tonight. Just don't let it happen, Raptors. You get your get back tonight by getting a W and playing right. That's what I want to see. Yeah, Charles' father. It's like, yeah, you're Charles' father now. You got to grow up, Chuck Daddy. You're Charles' father now. Yeah. Let's see. Logical saying, click. I believe Fred VanVleet will engage more offensively to keep us in the hunt. It really is kind of like he like looks at how the game's going in the second half, and if we're having trouble scoring, he will step in and step up and start bombing threes then. It's like he wants the rest of the team to get going in the first half because he knows he can get going quick in the second half without any kind of like work done in the first half. You'll notice Fred won't even shoot in the first half of a game, and then all of a sudden he's shooting a bunch in the second half of the game. That's kind of what he did in Miami on Saturday. So he's a second half kind of step up and help when things are kind of like really needing it and stuff like that at this point. Nameless saying, little hyperbole check, click. You can't win or lose a season in the first week. Of course. There's all kinds of sayings. People can think that Philadelphia's dead in the water after their start so far, but they're not. They're going to get it together, and they're going to get a good record at some point. It's just they're having a horrible start. Really horrible start. Guardian Transit saying we need the lockdown defense, locking down more consistent. Exactly. Especially from that first half. They watched the tape yesterday and watched that first half against Miami. They can point out all kinds of mess ups and stuff like that. And if they just know coming into this game how they fucked up in the first half by letting them score 71 points, they make the adjustments. This really is like a playoff series because we're playing them 2 games in a row. They can look at what they did on Saturday and adjust. And what team is good at adjusting? Our team. Nick Nurse is so good at pointing out what we did wrong. And they are the kind of team that will like fix it right away. So I'm going to be very curious to see how we adjust and how we look tonight with how we start. And like you're saying, our consistent defense needs to be consistent. It needs to be exactly that. You're right. Nameless saying, I'm looking for a huge bounce back game from OG, who's my second favorite Raptor, by the way. Yeah, I think hopefully OG will have a good game tonight. I just want these guys to quiet the fans down. Gary and OG play really well, just so these people will shut up about wanting you traded and stuff like that. I'm so sick of Raptors fans having no, um, uh, respect and no loyalty to our players. These are our players. We don't decide when they come and go. So why the fuck would you mess it up by saying, "Oh, I want him out"? Well, you're not Masai Ujiri. He's not going to trade his figurative son. Really, seriously. Like OG's like a son to him. So like you're not in charge, and you can't just say, "Oh, let's trade him." So why even waste that energy? Just enjoy having him on our team and accept him for who he is because he's good. He's really, really good. And we should be very proud to have him on our team. The OG hate is real. The hate is real. And so I don't understand it, Seymour. It's so stupid. So stupid. Logical saying OG definitely needs to start showing progress in the new chances he's getting. He does and he doesn't. He's going to have a mixture of success and failure. You talked about it in your clip, Mike, about Pascal. We've been both talking about it. Pascal has gone through failure and success in different levels throughout his years in the NBA, and we're just seeing a better level of success overall. But you got to remember a couple of years ago how he was like failing just as much as he was succeeding, and how he was driving everybody crazy, and they were treating him exactly how they're treating OG right now. So realize this. This is part of the process. Maybe he's at that 50-50 stage where he does show something that's really, really overpowering and awesome, but then he screws up half the time also. We have to allow for failure and development over long-term time. That these are the lessons these guys have to go through to get more and more like DeMar, to get more and more like Pascal. So OG's just on that same path of success and failure comes at different times. And we have to allow for both because the success will come more and more over time as he gets better. So that's the way I really look at it, that we need to look at OG like maybe how we looked at Pascal a couple years ago. And remember how much we shat on him then. And well, maybe OG will get to a place like Pascal's at now, where he's much more effective and successful more trips down the court than failing. And then we'll be like, oh, wow, he's finally arrived. It's just he's in that period of time where it's going to be failure mixed with success. And we have to allow for it. Allow for it. Seymour saying, without Boucher, Porter, and Scotty, we look average. I don't know if I'd say that. There's just a couple of guys that were missing. Scotty's a huge miss. Like not having him there changes our whole like swagger, our whole energy, the way we do everything. He really is a huge plus. Now, Otto, I don't know what he brings to us yet. And Boucher was missed this in the couple games he's missed recently, but hopefully he will be there tonight. I'm really thinking Boucher's ready tonight. He'll be there. Cool Cat saying we don't have to worry about the fine. Pascal will pay the fine. The team can't pay the fine. Okay, so the team's not allowed to pay the fine. Yeah, Pascal would definitely get that fine for him. That's nothing to him. 15,000. So maybe it is Pascal who'll pay the fine. I'd love to see Nav Badia maybe stand up and pay it for him. Maybe he could do it too, probably. Who knows? Logical saying Seymour Pape, salute, respect for the comment. Seymour doesn't shoot to miss. I'm not surprised when Seymour makes it. That's right. He's got some OG in him. Name was saying, I think we're looking real average lately simply because shots are not dropping. Yes. We start making our shots. We start shooting better. There's all kinds of little things we can do just a little bit better that'll make us more likely to win. And we're not doing them exactly right now. And we're still almost winning. That's the thing. It's not that much of a room for error. Like we're going to have to tighten it up more and more as the season goes and play more and more perfect as the season goes on. And that's what we're doing. We're perfecting and crafting the way the Raptors play over the whole season. This is the beginning of the season. They're going to look different in December. They're going to look different in February. They're going to look different in April. And they're going to be better and better as the year goes on. And we're at our absolute worst right now. Think about that. That's what I'll say for perspective right now. Let's see. We don't dominate the paint because the refs don't give us the calls. We actually do. Well, let's see us bully ball them tonight. And hopefully maybe they will reward us and give us more trips to the free throw line because we are being the aggressor on offense and getting fouls drawn. That is a big goal of Nick Nurse this season, is that we didn't try and go get fouls enough last season by being aggressive going to the basket. Well, he said this training camp that he's encouraging the Raptors to go to the rim more often and try and get on the line. He wants them to go to the rim and get on the line, and they're doing that the last couple games. This is not something we did a lot last year at times and stuff. We really settled for outside shots and working the ball around. I like that they're attacking the rim this year because that really is utilizing our size overall against other teams. And there always will be a mismatch where we can do that just because of the way we play, stuff like that. Cool Cat saying OG is overthinking when he's driving to the rim. Gary seems to be pressing. Both need to do some yoga to relax and just play with IQ. Yeah, I mean, it's real easy for us to kind of nitpick and stuff. I think that Gary had a little bit of a lapse of confidence in the last couple games. There was a game, there was a play where he lost the ball out of bounds. It was really boneheaded and dumb. Like he was right on the baseline. He's by himself. He could have just grabbed the ball, but it went off his hand and then went out of bounds. You know the play I'm talking about. There's something going on with him where his concentration isn't exactly all there all the time. Like sometimes he's very focused and he's hitting that shot, but then there's other times I feel like something's on his mind. I don't know what it is, but hopefully Gary will just get it together and figure it out. Those two are very similar in how they're getting treated by Raptors Nation right now. I don't like it. So, as Raptor freaks, positive Raptor fans, if you are in spaces on social media and you see people putting down OG and Gary in different ways, stand up for them, please, because that is part of what we do here. Is we're the good fans, we're the ones that stand and support with our team, and we're not turning on them when they have just a little bit of failure. We don't do that. That's not what we do here. All right, let's keep going. Name is same, but they're allowed to triple team us down low and hack our arms. Well, it's not going to be fair. We just got to overcome it all. It's just how it is. Name was saying, I'm down for robot officials in 2023. Yeah, eventually it'll get there. Trust me. It'll all be like the sport that they should do it in first is baseball. They should very much make a strike zone android detector first and get rid of that behind the plate ump. They're horrible back there in baseball these days. As far as the amount of calls they miss with strikes and balls and stuff like that, they need to get a computer sensor that can pinpoint the strike zone exactly, and then there's no room for error by human judgment. That is just like, well, the computer senses this. This is the strike zone. That would be the first place to try this kind of stuff out and then expand from that kind of technology to other sports possibly so that we can, yeah, you officials, your jobs may be limited and gone soon because y'all are humans and you get the calls wrong so often. Let's get computers in there and let them do the job and they'll be cut and dry. There will be no like disputing. Well, that computer did it because it's like the way it is and supposed to be fair. You know, that's what I love to see in sports because then there's no like, well, there's no error there because that's the computer and it's like programmed to be flawless and exactly right. Stuff like that. So I'm about that. But I think baseball is the first sport that needs to do this, and it really needs to be done around the plate with the strike zone. Canadian Cowboy saying, I know it's whack what happened to Koloko, but I think on the flip side, this is just a flame under the Raptors, and that from this game on, we're going to go on a win streak, at least 6 in a row. I love that, Bradley. That's music to my ears. And you're right. We had a change in the energy of our team when Bobby Portis Jr. got in Pascal's face last season in that Milwaukee game. It changed a lot of things. Hopefully they're carrying it over into this game. It won't be hard to do that. It's the same opponent. They still kind of feel probably pretty pissed about how the game went down on Saturday night. And yeah, there's a lot. Hopefully they have a lot of gumption and get up and go and motivation from what happened on Saturday for the second game today on Monday. I want to see it come out there and be still present for sure. Patrick Douglas is here. Good morning. He's saying, Nameless said it. The referees made the foul calls from early on us. Never seen a point guard get 5 fouls by the third quarter. Name me one. Yeah, I don't disagree with this. I mean, but also part of it is Kyle. You got to realize that Kyle is very, very good at drawing fouls or getting people in foul trouble. That Lowry may have been directing and trying to get Fred in foul trouble. That may have been part of his directive from Eric Spoelstra. Is that Kyle, get Fred in foul trouble in this game. Oh, I know how to get him. I've played against him for years in practice, and I know his tendencies. And I would really try and get him to take the bait on different things because there were a couple of fouls that he got from guarding Lowry. That's specifically probably why Lowry was trying to do that to get him in foul trouble. But that call was awful when they gave him the fifth foul. We challenged it and they still overturned. They still said no. They didn't overturn it. They said the call was right. And that pissed me off because that was very much saying, yeah, you're one of your best players is going to have 5 fouls for like a good portion of the game still. It's so crazy how long he played with 5 fouls and he didn't foul out. It is crazy. Mason saying no players in the league is perfect. It takes a lot of work to be great. It takes a lot of time and work. I do believe in our guys, and I'm not worried about our slow start. Used to that by now. Either we start really well, like we started like 10-0 for a season in seasons past. In fact, our championship year, we were like 6-0 to start that season, something like that, from what I remember. But you're right. This is the thing we got to understand just to get to where they're at, just to get where David Johnson is with 905 is so hard. And that's not even in the league. So we really do need to respect the levels these guys get to. Like Fred and Pascal is astounding what they have done. They were never supposed to be at the level they're at, both of them. And it's absolutely fantastic what they've done with their careers and how much they've risen up to be who they are at the point they are. That's an amazing accomplishment. And we need to respect that kind of stuff. And Gary's the same thing. Listen, this kid has been working since he was 6 years old. I told y'all, Gary has been a prodigy and working like a professional basketball player since he was a child. He did not have time to be a kid. His dad made him practice and be everything he could be for the court. He sacrificed his childhood in some ways to become the basketball player he is today. So we need to respect the work and the time and the effort that's gone into these guys in their careers and stuff and realize that and stuff like that. All right, Logic saying Lex cooking on the Fred VanVleet backseat and get others going. Yeah. Yeah, he's backseating. He's going to be, he can do it. He'll turn it on at any time and take over if he has to. But he understands he wants to let the other guys around him grow. And that's really a good teammate that does that. Cool Cat saying, I thought the Croker thing might be a crocodile. Yeah, I thought it was a frog because ribbit, ribbit, ribbit. And it's like, Tony Brothers, you're eating frogs? I don't know. It's a fish. It's a fish. You may find the croaker in the Mississippi River. So maybe it's a regional thing around the Mississippi Delta. And maybe it's something that I just have never gone and seen. And maybe you can get it in Memphis or Biloxi or something like that. You can go down there and get that. Tony Brothers is from around there. That may be why. No, wait, he's from Virginia. He's not from around there. I don't know. Maybe he just likes Mississippi fish. I don't know. It's weird. Shadows are scary. Logical. Oh, yeah. Whoa. Oh, it's just Justin Bieber. Okay, we're okay. All right. Evelyn's here. Good to see Granny Evelyn. Nice to see 43 beautiful minds here. Please like and subscribe. Thanks. Thank you, Granny Evelyn. She's a real one. Raptor Freak Granny Evelyn. We love you, Evelyn. Say hi to baby Candace. Yeah. Cool Cat saying, yeah, no need to panic. You can see Nick is experimenting with his bench combinations, plays, giving OG some runway practice, giving Scotty some runway practice. Yeah, he's giving everybody a little bit of a chance to contribute a little bit more on top of what they were doing last year. And Fred is the one who's kind of at the detriment of it. And that's nothing wrong with that. That is absolutely, that's just giving of Fred. And it's actually really smart because these guys will grow and get better. And Fred has still got what he's got. Stuff like that. G saying, I'm about to fry some croaker for Tony, whatever helps. Yeah, G, go get some croaker. I bet maybe we could find some croaker down at Chinatown in Spadina. And maybe you say, go to the fish market, say, you guys have croaker? I need croaker for Tony. Can you give me some croaker? And then, yeah, let's bring it down to the game. And somebody give it to Herbie, and Herbie will give it to him. Say, Herbie, this is croaker. Give it to Tony. And Herbie's like, what? What is this? He's like, oh, here you go, Tony Brothers. And maybe Tony's like loves croaker so much, he just devours it right there in the middle of the court, right in front of everybody. He kind of looks like a mango from Saturday Night Live all of a sudden on the table. He jumps up on the scorer's table and he eats it like mango from Saturday Night Live. Chris Kattan, croaker. And then he jumps off the table and then he's back to like being normal Tony Brothers and rest of the game. So I'm like, I don't know. Maybe that's what he does. Just making stuff up. Hilarious. Yeah, Raptors Twitter is not to be played with. They are not to be played with. You don't fuck with Raptors Twitter. Yeah, they will fuck you up. They will change your life on Twitter real quick. Let's see. Slender Man to his little forwards. He's giving them nightmares. Cool Cat saying, one thing about a set of Raptors Twitter, they will go at our players, but no one else can talk bad or do anything bad to our players. We keep that mess in house. Yeah, we can talk shit about our players and be toxic, but if anybody else comes from outside and they start doing that, we go after them. You go Raptors Twitter. You're toxic and you're messed up and you do fucked up things sometimes, but you got it right this weekend by chasing Caleb Martin off the platform there. Really funny. Monique saying if GTJ can shoot the way he did Saturday, like in the third quarter, watch out. The shots will fall. Just get on a good streak tonight, Gary, and start hitting them right away. If you have to get a little bit of a closer shot first before you start bombing the threes, do that. Get to the lane and get a layup, or at least get a little step to the side mid range shot like you do, and then start going for those money balls from the outside for three. Your shot has looked really, really good at times, and then other times it looks absolutely cold and kind of messed up. We want you to keep shooting. I'll tell you the same thing I told Fred when I met him in person. Keep shooting. Shooters got to shoot, and we believe in you. You could miss 10 in a row, and you will make that 11th one, and it'll matter, and we'll win the game. That's the way these guys are. We have to realize that Fred and Gary are very similar in that way. They'll miss a lot of shots sometimes, but they have short memories, and they can miss shots all during the game. And then in the fourth quarter, they wake up and they start hitting shots when we really need them. So we need to understand that they can have bad parts of games, but they may really show up when we really, really need them in crunch time situations that we really need them for. So that's the way I feel about Gary in the similar way to Fred, that they may miss a lot maybe in the first two quarters, but in the third quarter, all of a sudden they're gangbusters and they hit everything. So allow Gary to have some dud times, and maybe Nick takes him out and puts somebody else in for those times. But then he gives him another chance later in the game, and boom, all of a sudden he's hitting his shot then. So allow the success and failure for our guys, especially Anunoby and Trent. Seymour saying the league booted Koloko because they wanted Miami to win. Big market Vegas call. You know that in some ways that is true, that like that, they really did want Miami to win that game. If they'd gone down 0-3, they would have been really doubting themselves. Miami may have looked like a real pretender already. Like they are a pretender. It's just they would really, really look like a pretender. They would be talked about like Philly's getting talked about right now and stuff like that. So they had to kind of in some ways protect that franchise, very similar to Brooklyn. Brooklyn could have easily been losing all their games, but they got a game against us on Friday night to feel good about. That's what they're saying. They're trying to give things. Now, think about this. Philadelphia, Wednesday, they're going to try and help them to make them feel good about things because they haven't had anything to feel good about already this season. But I think the dumpster fire in Philly is burning out of control already. And Joel Embiid is already a big focal point of the problem in Philadelphia right now. He always has been in some ways. All right, let's see. Lolita is saying for a rookie, Koloko is so good and charming. You can see early that he will be a leader. He will not take any disrespect. I like that he didn't take that disrespect. It could be real easy for a rookie to be sheepish and kind of like, well, I'm new here. I'm barely played in this league. But no, he did the right thing. He handled it all very well. And they're giving a lot of praise for that, his teammates and his coach. So good job, Christian. That was a test as a rookie, and you passed with flying colors. Logical saying, I'm going to go deep in the Nash part in a good piece. Yeah, okay, cool. 7 seconds or less was him playing soccer in a way. I seen that connection. There you go. All right, so you're already thinking in that direction before I even said that. That's cool. Makes sense. G saying, I'm trying to understand what they wanted Koloko to do. Lay on the ground, flop around, stand up with the arms down when Caleb was clearly aggressive. I don't know. Maybe we should have let Christian just stay down there and see just how much further Caleb was going to go. Maybe he was about to rear back and go something like that. I mean, that's what I would be thinking if I had a guy about to come up above me and stuff like that. I would be like, I would be thinking pulling the legs out from under him and getting up on top of him myself is kind of what my move would have been in that situation. He didn't even do that. He just got up. Active gamers here. Good to see active gamer. It doesn't hurt to be a multi-sport athlete. No, it doesn't. Because the different skills from different things cross-train into what you're doing, and they can actually really help. Like handball. Handball was a game that Olajuwon played. Like Akeem Olajuwon back in the day was he wasn't just a soccer player. He played soccer for sure. And Olajuwon was a great soccer player. But he also played handball. He was like really into handball. And that actually probably helped him with his shot blocking and stuff like that, playing handball. So, yeah, multi-sport athletes are smart. Bo knows. Yeah, Bo knows. Cool Cat's saying only the U.S. and Canada do not have football, soccer as their number one sport. Football is the most popular in the world. You become a football fan since in the womb. Yeah, this is true. Soccer is a huge sport around the world. English football, yeah, and it's not here as much and stuff like that. It's interesting and weird. I mean, obviously, Canada is hockey and lacrosse, and then down in the states, it's more like baseball and football, American football and stuff like that. But yeah, soccer it is a worldwide sport that's much more popular around the world than it is on this continent in some ways. Tom Duke saying, I'm 2 years older. My first impression of Nashty was when our coach pulled me aside to watch him kicking a rugby ball from 60 yards with both feet for the first time ever with a rugby ball. So you're watching Steve Nash kick a lopsided ball 60 yards down the field and stuff like that. That's cool. Tom Duke has probably got all kinds of crazy Steve Nash stories from growing up in the community with him, going to the same high school as him, stuff like that. So, yeah, Tom knows a bit about him, and I know a bit about him because I do actually know Steve Nash myself. I met him in the early 2000s when he was dating a coworker of mine at a bar in downtown Toronto, and he used to come to the bar and wait for her to get off work, and I got to talk to him and hang out with him a little bit. I was talking to him about Dennis Rodman because he was on his team at that time with the Mavericks. And I was like, what's Rodman like? Because I love Rodman. One of my favorite players of all time. And I just want to know about Rodman from Steve Nash. And Steve Nash goes, he's an asshole. I hate him. He told me that straight up. And he was still his teammate at that time. So, Dennis is such an asshole. I hate him. That's what he said. It's hilarious. All right, let's keep going. Logical saying playoffs, you could hit that. Who knows? I may get on a little streak. I may get a little bump. It may be a lot easier to get the second 500 than the first 500. Probably will be because I really was coming out of the trenches. Stuff like we'll have to see logical how it evolves. That's what I'm saying. This is the way these things grow. You'll see the same thing with your channel. I'm sure you'll get to a certain point and then boom, you'll have a little explosion of more subs and stuff like that. It's just how it goes on YouTube. Uh, Nameless is saying every time you say grabbing asses, I split a gut laughing. I mean, it's true. He was playing grab ass. He would do crazy stuff. Like I had players that would like. I had one player that would murmur or whisper like lines from Monty Python at other people at the free throw like lane. They'd be waiting and getting position at the lane off the free throw, and he'd be leaning into him. He said, "Your mother is a hamster." He'd say that to somebody, and they would be like, "What? What did he just say?" And they like he'd get the rebound. Like there's all kinds of crazy shit we used to do. That was Justin Miracle who did that shit. He was like he would say, "Your mother's a hamster," and then he'd like distract them and get the rebound. He would be like quoting Monty Python and shit. It's so funny. Tom Duke saying Nash was not allowed to play rugby too long. He worked so much harder than anyone. Well, that's probably good because rugby is a very dangerous sport in some ways, and you can cause a bad injury, and that would have messed up his careers in other sports. So that's good that they stopped him from playing rugby, probably. Let's see. Active Gamer saying they're going to be on Gary Trent Jr.'s nuts when he heats up. I love that. That's exactly right. And, the lightning rod for all this is Jordan Bolton, his best friend, because he's on Twitter and he's outspoken. And he's always saying, y'all try to trading him. And then when he doesn't play well, he's like, oh, I should shut up and stuff like that. But Jordan really is kind of speaking for Gary to a degree on Twitter as far as like maybe how he feels about Gary and standing up for him and stuff like that. So follow King Bolton on Twitter and see what he's saying about Gary during games because he is actively tweeting during games and commenting on what Gary's doing to Toronto fans and saying, y'all need to respect my best friend more, my Relly, as he puts it and stuff like that. So follow Jordan Bolton and you'll see like the updates during the game and how he responds to when Gary's doing well and when he isn't. It's really funny what he says to Raptor fans and stuff. So Tom Duke official. Yeah, official. Nameless is saying, reminds me of that slap ass sketch from Key and Peele. I don't remember that one in particular, but they're awesome. I love that show too so much. Nameless is saying, I'm crying off laughter with the onion breath and Jack smelling shit like shit. Nobody wanted to cover him. It's smart. John Dodger was crazy. Like he had long blonde hair. He wore like what do you call a kerchief or whatever the things that a mat, you know what I'm talking about. He wears his hair pulled back and literally wouldn't shower. And he smelled so bad. And like he'd come into the gym eating the onion. He'd be like, oh. And I'm like, what the fuck is John doing? He's like, he's eating the onion at our practice like, before the game. Anyway, it was smart and brilliant in a lot of ways too. Seymour saying, at least we're still up on the shitty Sixers of Philly. Yeah, for sure. We're better than Philly, at least, for sure. Logical saying, facts on Siakam. You've been saying the same thing on that subject of failure. It really is like a two thing. You roll a die and you want to get even or odd. Well, you have a 50% chance if you roll that die of getting even or odd. And sometimes you won't get the one you want. And that really is what's happening here. There's a place to land for failure and a place to land for success. And you just want that success landing pad to be bigger because you work so hard, the outcome is more likely to land on that side. Well, there's always the possibility of landing on that failure side, no matter what. It doesn't matter if you're Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant. That failure side is always still there. You just want to always try and get it on the other side and make that pad a lot bigger because you work so hard and consistency and stuff like that. But that other side is still there. And it will happen from time to time. We have to allow for it. Julian's here. Good to see Julian. Can I question Nick Nurse's coaching style? I believe a good coach should be able to use more of his bench players and not rely on his starters the entire game. Amen, Julian. Great first comment today. I agree with this completely. In fact, I went off on Nick Nurse on Saturday morning for how he played the Brooklyn game. That he played those starters so much on the first night of a back-to-back, that was really stupid. It's like, why? Why do this? We have a better bench compared to last year. I can understand why you did it last year, Nick, because you didn't have anybody you could depend on coming off that bench. Well, you had that this year. So break your old bad habits. And it may be, this is the thing I'm starting to think. The thing that started happening with Casey when he was the Raptors coach near the end was we all started to realize he was stubborn about making in-game changes in the playoffs. And that was coming to bite us in the ass. And part of the reason why he wasn't a good playoff coach is because he's really bad at making in-game adjustments. And Nick Nurse is really good at that. And that's why we have like a really nice change when Casey left and Nick Nurse came in. He was good at that. Well, maybe we're finding the Achilles heel of Nick Nurse is you overplay your starters. And, as much as we said that Dwayne Casey was not very good at changing on the fly in the playoffs, this may be your Achilles heel, Nick. It may be that you overrun your starters. And that, like my good friend Matt McCready has said on Facebook this week, why are we have to be a regular season team? Because the way you play our starters is not good for the playoffs. They're going to be hurt. And we're not going to have our best guys if you do this all season. So don't do this, Nick. There's time to change. If there is somebody in the Raptors organization that listens to me, go tell Nick Nurse that he's going to get pigeonholed as the guy who overplays his starters, burns them out over the season, and they're ineffective in the playoffs because of that. And this is just a friendly outside little observation that you're hearing from many different Raptor fans like Julian and myself. So, Nick, please, we're pleading with you. They went out and got you the bench guys you wanted this summer. Kill your old habit from last year and mix and match the bench with the starters way more often. You're riding Fred, Pascal, OG, Scotty, and Gary too much. Mix and match Precious, Koloko, Delano. Get those guys in there and get their numbers a little bit more even with the time on the court with those starters. Because you're starting to get a pigeonhole like Casey had about the playoffs. The Nick Nurse cannot help but play Pascal and Fred for 40 minutes a game. In fact, that's what they're saying. I'll believe it when I see it because Nick can't help but play us too much is what the problem is right here. I'm with you, Julian. Thank you for your comment. And that's what I say to this. Don't get pigeonholed like Casey did, Nick, with having a weakness and this being it. And y'all be saying, what? Well, he has to play the best possible players to win. Well, the best possible players to win are sometimes the ones that aren't winded, the ones that have the energy and are able to go. And that's what subbing guys in fresh. That's part of our mentality and part of our strength is the energy all the time, all over the place. Well, don't burn out the light bulbs completely. Keep the light bulbs coming in fresh so that there's no dead period where everybody's looking gassed and we're having a bad period of the game. Keep replenishing, bringing in new players, new energy constantly. Rotate, stagger, bring them in. Always have 2 or 3 of the starters out there, but always have, for the most part, other than the beginning of the game and maybe at the end of the game, a couple of bench players in there also, Nick. Please, I challenge you to do this. Somebody in the Raptors organization hears me do this rant right now. Please let Nick Nurse hear this because we are calling out for it, and you can do it. I don't get this whole thing. You have to have the absolute best players out there all the time. And that's why you always ride the starters too much. That's bullshit. You've got Precious Achua. That is an extra starter. You can get him in there and get him closer to the starters' minutes. He deserves it, if you ask me. In fact, if Koloko doesn't get in foul trouble, you should play him as much as possible because we see how good he is and how much he impacts the game, even if he's not scoring. So why wouldn't you ride him? You want the extra reps and the motor and the time for him, testing him? Play Koloko a whole bunch. Don't just give him 15 minutes. Give him like a 20-minute game. That's what I'm saying. And I appreciate your comment, Julian, so much. I'm with you. Mason's saying we are the underdogs of this league, but that just makes winning even better. I believe in the process as fans don't shit on our guys because of the slow start. Winning a chip is hard to do. Grind time. Yes. Yes. Mason, I'm with you. All that. We are the underdogs. It'll make it all the sweeter when we overcome everything that we are put up against. Tom Duke's agreeing with Julian also. I like that. Tom Duke has got the 5 Raptor mascots of Raptor lineup out there. Going to have waffles and fried croaker for everyone smothered in maple syrup sauce. Let's go. Yeah, I like it. Cool Cat said, I see Gary Trent Sr. was coming in the airport, so that would help Gary Trent Jr. stop pressing and help clear his mind. I hope Gary Trent Jr. is not looking at our rabid fans. Him and OG are still developing and learning. Yeah, I was wondering why Gary Trent Sr. was in the YYZ because his son's down in Miami. Why are you up here in Toronto right now, Gary Sr.? It's really weird. Like your son's down in Miami. I think you would be down there with him at those games because I know you like to be in Miami also. But he's actually here in Toronto right now, Gary Trent Sr. It's a little weird. I don't understand that totally. Yeah, I don't think Gary Trent Jr. is looking at anything online. Trust me, he's insulated from it, and he knows he's done this for so long. He's not hearing any of these people. That's part of the stupidness of it all. Is they putting all that energy out there, and nobody's gonna see. He's not gonna see it. They don't give a shit. He doesn't give a shit what they say and stuff like that. He probably won't hear them. Jordan will see it though, and he may report back to him. He may come back and say, "Yeah, they're saying this fucked up shit about you right now and stuff like that." You don't even want to see it. This is probably what Jordan would say to Gary. I can see Gary Sr. fighting Raptors fans for all the negative comments towards him. Yeah, he doesn't really do that. He's on a good vibe. Like he's all about like being himself and having his own thing and stuff like that. I don't think he really stands up for Gary online too much. Like he really shouldn't. He doesn't need to. It's kind of like lowering himself in some ways if he did do that. It's like don't even acknowledge these trolls or these fans of the Raptors that like to sewer Gary after a couple of missed shots. Cool Cat saying, I think we start okay this year. It's just minor stuff that tip the W in the other way. It's good lessons for our young guns. They really get to know and value the importance of having good possessions, taking care of the ball, making the free throws, because it all adds up to whether you win or lose. And it's that close, the margin, that you got to be as perfect as possible because it may actually really outcome the game by the end of the game. Whether you're missing free throws or not taking care of the ball or not making shots, different things like that. And these are good lessons in that way for sure, Cool Cat. Monique saying, yesterday was the anniversary of Pascal's father, and Christian Siakam posted the IG story of it, and Pascal's still pushing through. The passing of Pascal's dad. There was also the anniversary of the ring ceremony that we got for our championship this weekend also. I really love seeing the pictures of us getting our gold hot buttered popcorn rings that time. That was so awesome. That's a great memory, but that's sad too. But this is why he's doing it. He's doing it for him. He's doing it for all of us. Pascal Siakam doing it for us, but specifically doing it for his father and stuff like the honor of him. Lolita saying, just reminded me of fans throwing octopus in hockey games years ago, throwing Tony his croaker. Yeah, maybe somebody should go get a croaker. And if there's a really bad play, throw that fish out on the court. Although it may not be fun to sit in the stands next to somebody with a fish that's just waiting with it and stuff like that. Maybe it'll start to smell a little bit. I don't know. Hilarious stuff. I'm really glad we figured out about this croaker thing. It's really funny. Mason saying, as always, Lex, thank you for your great live streams. We need this win. We can't lose 2 games against the Heat. We need to be really tough on and run the floor and grab rebounds, push, fast break. Agree with all of that. These are actually kind of good keys to the victory. I'll do that real quick right now. It really is about coming out and establishing a good relationship with Tony Brothers tonight, showing him that we want to be the team on the up and up that's going to work hard in the right way, not making fouls, but really be the team that gets after the 50-50 balls, the rebounds. It really does really good, crisp defensive rotations where we're not having any of the lapses we had in the first half of the last game. that it really is important that we are looking rested, energetic, and on top of things. If we do that, Tony Brothers will reward us and give us a lot of the good calls tonight. He really is going to look and see who's going to be a problem for him and who is not working harder. He will reward the harder working team. That is just his MO. That's the way he's always reffed in this league. So that is what we need to do. We need to out hustle, outwork, and outplay them. And we can. We are the better team. We have more talent. We are bigger. We have a lot of strengths over that team in Miami. So we need to execute, play as well as we can, and outplay them, and we will be okay with the refs. That is the only way we'll be okay with the refs. If we play lazy, if we're a second too late to the spots, and we're going to get foul calls. So we need to be that much on top of it and getting there quicker and faster and being a step ahead and stuff like that. There's your keys to the victory. Just outplay them, and we will be rewarded by Tony Brothers. Logical saying, no doubt, creating something new is hard out of the trenches. Yeah, it is. It's very hard, especially if nobody knows who you are or where you are and stuff like that. You got to get people to find you first and stuff like that. Not gonna lie, our depth has been poor since 2019, and we only started to get full again. Hence the tough cuts signal depth. I know you're saying that in your piece about how when we lost Kawhi and Danny, that we had a shift down in talent. And I agree. I remember I felt that after they left. But, in some ways also, we had pretty good depth in the year after the championship. It really was Tampa was where we bottomed out with depth. That was the absolute worst depth the Raptors have had probably in 15 years. And it's amazing how quickly we bounced back and got a good bench again just since Tampa 2 years ago. Because if you think about what our bench was like in Tampa, it was pretty bad. And last year wasn't that great either. This year should be pretty good. It is not fully confirmed yet because we haven't really seen them enough, but I'm pretty damn sure our bench will be way better this year for sure. Let's see. Minutes were solid through 2018, 2020. Then COVID hit. Cupboards were emptier. And I think winning culture is an extremely important aspect to how well we have done developing the trends, shows grows is wins. Yeah, if you do have that winning culture and you go through bad times, if you keep the culture intact and weather the storm, it will really pay off. Like that's the problem. You can have a Tampa year like we had, and it would destroy everything that you built. Like everything we built with Kyle and DeMar up until that point. What if it had been completely destroyed? No, that's part of the reason why the Tampa year was so successful. We got Scotty in the draft because of it, and also we kept our ship afloat. We did not take on leaks or have problems that destroyed things that we'd already built over the years before that. In fact, that was what the rest of the NBA thought would happen, that we would become dead because of a year in Tampa. Well, we weathered the storm. We battened down the hatches, and we sailed through that year pretty unscathed from any long-term damage from having to be moved down there. And a lot of people were hoping that. A lot of hater fans in the NBA that hate the Raptors were really hoping we go down there and our franchise would be destroyed. Well, we were successful in keeping everything intact. Important things like our culture and our winning mentality in a very, very tough, difficult situation. In fact, that's part of the reason why I think the Tampa year was so successful on the down low is that we kept things intact and we got Scotty. And you could look at the record and you can say, oh, they didn't make the playoffs and stuff like that. But that was a successful year. I'm sorry. Given the circumstances, everything, we did really good that year, considering. Let's see. Monique saying Jim Jackson said the same thing on the NBA Game Time season Raptors preview on Nick Nurse. Mix and match. I love that Jim Jackson's saying that, and he can see that also. Cool Cat saying Nick Nurse overplaying the starters came from the front office. It answered the question about Fred changing role. Now game shape early to allow OG, Gary, Scotty to adapt to their new role. Yeah, we got to morph and change over time. We can't just be the same Raptors every single year. It's like we got to have different people come up and take new spots, take more time from this person, or this person gets more time back. Different things like that. I just want Nick to really use his personnel. We have a strength of being like 10 to 12 men deep. Use it. Malachi Flynn, Maliki Flynn, get him in there. Logical saying, and win is to grow, and you have to trying to win is to learn how to win, and getting wins and seeing what it takes is key for the starters to show and accept nothing lesser. Accountability is key in the effort to buy in. It's a very fine balance, in my opinion. Yeah. Yeah, it's really there's a lot of things that have to be working right in different ways. Stuff like David saying, I don't think Gary Trent needs anybody to stand up for him. Yeah, I'm with David on this too. He doesn't give a shit what all these knuckleheads are saying about him. Every bad word that's said about him, I'm sure he doesn't. He has a very good life and everything's fine. Logical saying Flynn's development is the hit we took for Tampa. Yeah, that may be right. That Flynn was kind of put back a season because his rookie year wasn't in the best ideal situation. He didn't get the 905 treatment that Delano got and stuff like that. That may have really helped him fast track. All right, let's do the real mascot matchup. That's really the last thing I got to do today since I've done everything else. All right, last time we saw the Raptor, he's in this weird pseudo hospital. We're not even sure if it's a hospital at this point. Something's not right. He's bound to a hospital bed and he is like been beat up or hurt or something. He is injured, and he has these nurses that are kind of coming in and checking on him. They're jerks. One's a cavalier nurse, very mean, very horrible bedside manner, and then the head nurse is Annette, and she's just as much a problem and not nice. Well, what they have done is they've locked the door on him, and he has realized that the room he's in is actually a sauna, and they are cut the heat up real high, and he's in there sweating, and they have him in a bed with covers and like a full comforter on him. So it's like they put him in a sauna with a bed, like bedding all over him, and he's strapped in. He can't get out of there, and he's sweating. In fact, the heat is so bad. It's really like he's getting lightheaded. He's feeling like I don't know if I'm gonna be last in this, and it's like he actually blacks out. He passes out, and we don't know. He could, for all he knows, he could be done and dead and stuff like that. We don't know. So yeah, what's gonna happen? Is he dead? Is he strapped in that bed, and the sauna heat just is gonna kill him? What's gonna happen to the Raptor? We're gonna find out. There's more to this story. I mean, yeah, he's gonna have to deal with more heat, apparently. But yeah, real mascot matchup. It's a little understated, a little short, little like snapshot of the Raptor in the bed with a pool of sweat all around him, strapped in, and he's unconscious because he's felt the heat. Yeah, so we got to find out what happens to him tonight. Hopefully, good things happen. Things like that. Yeah. All right. Yeah. You love the story time, cool cat. And Logical's really freaking out. Oh no, geez. Oh no. Yeah, I know. They're trying to kill him. Really, seriously. Leslie Hart. Good morning, Raptor freak. Leslie Hart. Let's go, Raptors. All right. So we'll just do a real quick recap. Our injuries tonight are Otto Porter for sure out. Chris Boucher is likely to play, guys, but he is on the injury report still. So there's a possibility he doesn't play, but I am hoping Chris shows up and plays tonight. Scotty, I'm really, really thinking he's going to play tonight, even though he maybe shouldn't, but I think he will. I think he's going to be fine. He's going to get cleared by the end of the day, but he is day to day, and there is a very good chance he won't play tonight. But I have a really sinking suspicion that he will be there playing tonight for some reason. Our referees are Tony Brothers, Trey Maddox, and John Butler. Tony Brothers, we've gone over how he is and how we can win his favor. We just have to play harder and do the right things, and he will reward us. Trey Maddox is a friendly ref. We like Trey Maddox. You're a good dude. You play the piano. So does Nick Nurse. Maybe you guys can tickle the ivories together or something like that. And then John Butler, fuck you. We are 1-4 a record against John Butler, and every single time the Miami Heat have played with John Butler as the ref, they've won. So yeah, he's a young ref, and we have had really bad games underneath him so far in his young career. Meanwhile, the Miami Heat have gotten favor from him. So look out for the inexperienced young third ref, John Butler, with his whistle. Tony Brothers, we know who Tony Brothers is and know what we'd expect with him. Trey Maddox is the friendly ref. Hopefully he'll be nice to us. Keys to victory, outplay them, just like I was saying with Tony Brothers. Let's please Tony Brothers, and we'll win the game. Let's just put it that way. We outplay. He wants to see a good basketball team play good basketball, play hard, get to the ball quicker, get the rebounds faster, make the shots. The classic ways to win a basketball game, Tony Brothers will honor and reward. So if we do that and we don't have no back talk, we don't have any kind of like lippy kind of like attitude or cockiness like Miami showed in the middle of the game when everything kind of went crazy. Yeah, if we avoid that and let Miami do it, they may step in their own doo-doo and piss off Tony Brothers, and he actually becomes a real ally to the Toronto Raptors tonight. So there's your ref report. Kind of keys of victory is very intertwined with the ref report, seeing as Tony Brothers has been assigned to this game, obviously, to be a sheriff because of what happened in the last game. that they need a very capable person to make sure there's not going to be any kind of fracas or any kind of melee or any kind of payback. The Raptors are better than that, and we're smarter than that, Tony. So don't worry. We'll get our get back eventually, but it's not going to be tonight. We'll let the game speak for itself and win the right way. But receipts will be paid down the road, Caleb Martin. And you may be glad, actually, they suspended you for the game tonight, because now you won't get your receipts tonight. You'll probably get them in Toronto when you come here. So, yeah, Caleb Martin out, Nikola Jovic out, Victor Oladipo out, Omer Yurtseven out, and stuff like that. And I am out now, guys. I think flow is key for live streaming. That's the legit, in my opinion. Yeah, flow. They got to have the flow. All right. Monique saying, even though I won't see you on Halloween, happy anniversary to you and Adrian. Thank you, Monique. You're so sweet to say that. I am so appreciate that and stuff like that. Appreciate that, guys. All right, guys, have a great Monday. Let's make it the best. Get out there and vote. Seriously, there's an election today, and they may not all be telling you that. If you live in the Toronto area or other parts of Canada and there's actually an election going on, just go and vote. Find your polling station. Like I said, I don't care who you vote for. Just do it. Just go vote. Today's the day to vote. All right. Please subscribe if you enjoy my content. And thank you, NBA Chev and NBA Chev people, for showing up. I really appreciate y'all. I'm a big fan of Chev, and him and I are birds of a feather. We're very much off the cuff, kind of say what we fucking want to say about shit. And I will cuss a motherfucker like Caleb Martin out, like I did yesterday. So if you enjoy that kind of NBA content, where it's just like a real dude being real and talking shit the way that we're supposed to talk shit like Chev does, yeah, I'm a little bit of different flavor, but we're definitely from the same family. So y'all have a great Monday, and let's go Raptors. We got to get that W tonight. Mason Culligan is right. This is a must-win for pride. This is a must-win to say, y'all ain't going to punk us like this from Precious Achua's mouth and stuff like that. I love to see Christian Koloko starting tonight, just as a big FU to the Miami Heat tonight. That'd be badass move. Nick Nurse, think about it. All right. Have a great day, y'all, and let's beat the Heat. Let's go, Raptors. Let's get that Raptor out of that bed and out of that sauna room. He needs to bust out, right? We're worried about this. We got to get him up and on his feet and running out of that door away from those psycho nurses. Oh, yeah, we got to figure that out. All right, y'all, have a great day. I appreciate y'all. See y'all tomorrow morning, 9:30. Enjoy the game tonight. Let's just get that win, Raptors. Do it the right way, and Tony Brothers will look out for you. Trust me. Just do it the right way. All right, let's go, y'all.